What if the strongest move you can make is doing nothing at all? This is where we begin, by breaking everything you've been taught about power. Most people think you have to speak up to stand your ground, but true power often comes from silence, and deep, calm kind of silence that can't be shaken. In this section, we explore an ancient secret, how the wisest people in history, Zen monks, Stoic philosophers, even warriors, used silence to protect their peace and confuse their enemies. You'll learn that silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the space where awareness grows and manipulation dies. Because when you don't react, the manipulator loses control. We'll start this journey by planting a powerful idea. You already have a silent force inside you. It just needs to be awakened. Before you can outsmart them, you need to understand how they work. Manipulators don't always shout or argue. Most of the time they stay quiet. They smile, they charm, they find your weak spot and pull. In this section, we uncover their hidden tricks. We'll talk about how they use guilt, fear, and praise to bend your will, without you even noticing. We look at ideas from famous thinkers like Carl Jung, who explained how people use your hidden fears against you. And we'll show how this type of control has been used in history, by rulers, cult leaders, even in modern media. Here's the truth. Manipulators don't need power. They just need your attention. And once you stop giving it to them, they have nothing left. You can feel it. Something's off. The words sound nice, but the energy is wrong. This section is about developing a deeper awareness, so strong that no lie can hide from you. You'll learn how to sense manipulation by tuning into your body, not just your mind. We'll explore how ancient teachings from India, Tibet, and mystical schools talked about an inner sense that helps you see truth without needing proof. When you strengthen your awareness, you create a kind of invisible shield. This shield doesn't fight, it sees, and seeing clearly is what makes you untouchable. This part will change the way you feel around people forever. What happens if you simply don't react? In this section, we unlock the art of stillness. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. It means choosing, not to feed the game. Manipulators need your energy, your reaction, your fire. Take that away and the game falls apart. We'll learn from Stoic leaders, Buddhist monks, and peaceful warriors who chose silence over drama, and how it broke their enemies without lifting a finger. This is where you begin to rise, not by fighting, but by becoming something they can't control. Stillness is the moment you stop playing their game and start living your truth. This is the twist. What if you could use their energy against them? In this part, we look at an idea from martial arts called redirection. It means letting the enemy come toward you, but instead of blocking, you guide their force away. Spiritual teachers like Lao Tzu and Rumi knew this secret. So did ancient warriors. When you stay calm and centered, the manipulator gets tangled in their own trap. You don't push back, you reflect. This section gives you the mindset of someone who turns pressure into peace and confusion into clarity. It's not just defense, it's quiet power. You've seen it before. Someone walks into a room and everything changes. Not because they talk loud, but because their energy is strong. This section explores the power of presence. We dive into the idea of your aura, an unseen field that surrounds you and speaks louder than words. You'll learn how ancient cultures, spiritual masters, and even modern science talk about this energy field and how it changes how people treat you. When you become calm, grounded, and clear, people notice, manipulators feel it, and step back. This is how you lead without control, influence without effort, by simply being fully you. This is the secret most people miss. Manipulation only works if you're still holding on to needing approval, to being right, to being liked. But when you let go of needing anything from anyone, you become free. In this section, We look at what spiritual teachers like the Buddha, the Gnostics, and the Sufis all said: the less you cling to the outside world, the less control it has over you. This isn't about being cold or distant, it's about being whole. You'll learn how true strength comes from detachment, not from shutting down, but from knowing who you are without needing others to tell you. When you stop chasing power, you become powerful. Here's the truth. You don't beat manipulators by fighting them. You beat them by becoming someone they can't touch. This journey wasn't about learning to attack. It was about remembering your strength. Silence, stillness, presence. These aren't weaknesses. They are your greatest tools. When you stop reacting, when you see through the lie, when you walk with quiet confidence, the game ends. They won't know what happened, but you will, because now you are the one who cannot be controlled. What if the strongest thing you could do was stay silent? What if silence could cut deeper than words ever could? Manipulators thrive on reactions. They want you to fight back. They want you to explain, to defend, to lose control. But what if you didn't give them anything? What if your silence wasn't fear, but power? In this opening, we plant the seed. You don't need to say a word to take back control. We introduce the idea that manipulation is often invisible, a mind game, an energy exchange. We draw on ancient wisdom and modern psychology to show that the real power isn't in your voice, it's in your presence. This isn't about being passive. It's about becoming untouchable. Let's pull back the curtain. Manipulators are not random. They look for certain people. Those who doubt themselves, those who want to be kind, those who feel guilty easily. In this section, we break down their tactics: gaslighting, guilt-tripping, silent treatment, charm, confusion. We explain how they use your emotions against you. We talk about the games they play, not with logic but with energy. We show how these people feed off reactions. The louder you get, the more they win. But when you start to notice the pattern, something changes. You start to see the game for what it is, and that's the first step to breaking free. Here's the first real secret. Manipulators can't handle stillness. In ancient Zen, Taoism, and even martial arts like Aikido, there's a lesson. The calmer you are, the harder you are to control. We explore what presence really means, how staying grounded and silent can throw the manipulator off balance. We share real stories of people who disarmed powerful figures just by staying calm and not reacting. The manipulator needs your energy to survive. If you don't give it to them, they panic. Stillness isn't weakness. It's the most powerful move you can make. You're not freezing. You're holding your ground. And in that stillness, they lose their grip. What if you didn't have to call them out? What if they exposed themselves all on their own? This section introduces a powerful idea: mirroring. When you stay calm, when you don't explain yourself, when you don't react, manipulators start to reveal who they really are. They talk too much. They twist their own words. They get nervous. Why? Because silence becomes a mirror. And most manipulators can't stand to look at themselves. We break down how eye contact, silence, and still body language can make them unravel. We connect it to ancient teachings like how warriors used awareness, not words, to defeat opponents. You don't push back, you just reflect, and suddenly they fall apart. Before you say a single word, your body is already speaking. Manipulators can feel your energy. They know if you're confident or anxious. They know when you're unsure of yourself. That's what they prey on. But what if your energy was solid, calm, clear, unshakable? In this section, we dive into something powerful: energetic boundaries. We explain how ancient traditions, from yogic auras to modern neuroscience, show that your emotional state creates an invisible field. When you're grounded, people feel it. Manipulators sense it, and most of the time they back off. We'll also offer simple, powerful tools: breathwork, grounding, staying present in your body, because when your energy is strong, they can't find a way in. Here comes the twist. You only get manipulated if you need something from them. Think about it. You get pulled in when you need approval, or love, or to be understood. But when you no longer need anything from them, they lose all power. In this section, we talk about true power, the kind that doesn't need to prove, fight, or explain, the kind that just is. We pull from the wisdom of Lao Tzu, Carl Jung, and Gurdjieff, people who knew that the strongest people are the quietest. They're not cold, they're centered. Manipulators can only play their games with people who are unsure of themselves, but when you stop seeking validation, you become a mountain. They can throw words, but nothing sticks. That's the real secret. True power stays silent because it already knows. There's one last shift, one final move. Become the watcher. In this section, we go deeper, past tactics and into transformation. The manipulator only has power over you if you're still inside the story. But the moment you step outside and watch, everything changes. You're no longer the victim. You're the observer, calm, aware, free. We bring in spiritual teachings from the Bhagavad Gita to modern mystics to show that witnessing your thoughts